Hey guys, so now that the season one of the horse race test has ended, we've got a lot of time to go through a lot of these older races and sort of look at them and how a lot of these horses can improve if they are going to return for the second season, or just in general, we can see what a lot of horses can do to really get ahead in the race. Now, we don't know much about how season two of the horse race test is going to go. We don't know if it's going to be in the same sort of rules, but if it is going to be following these same sort of rules, we can sort of deduce what a horse needs to do to really be as successful as possible in these scenarios. So I'm going to be analyzing a lot of these races from the perspectives of the winners, the losers, in general, just why certain horses are winning and why certain horses are losing, rather than just from the perspective of Resolute Mind Afternoon, because I think I've talked about what Resolute Mind Afternoon needs to do in order to improve specifically in his races and what mistakes he's making, what he's doing right. But I want to talk about, in general, how a horse can be successful in the horse race tests. So just starting with the positioning at the start, I've said before, starting position matters a lot depending on the maps. I think this is one of the maps that starting position does matter on, but at the end of the day, starting position is not the be-all, end-all of these sort of things, right? Like in this race, spoilers, I guess, but Jovial Merriment is the one who ends up winning at the end here. But Jovial Merriment starts all the way in the very back, right? So that's kind of a little abnormal, especially on a map like e1m4, right? Like this specific choke here and this box, a lot of horses bounce around in this box. They'll get stuck here. They'll go back and forth. They're keeping people in here for a long time until eventually the horse in the front is able to get through. But like starting position is important, and I'm sure we'll see it. Like Mary is going to be in here for a while before actually being able to get out, but it's definitely an issue definitely an issue for some of the horses who have to start in the back. Definitely something that they have to work past. And just while we're speaking about Mary and Mary being the winner here, I'm not going to speak too much on the allegations towards Jovial Merriment. I'm trying to remain mostly unbiased in these sorts of reviews. I guess I'll have a slight bias toward Resolute Mind Afternoon, mainly just because I'm a fan, but I'm not going to try to engage too heavily with any sort of favoritism. I'm trying to be as impartial as possible in these tests. So although outside of the analyst, I personally, I'm believer of the allegations. I'm not a fan of Jovial Merriment, but you won't hear me taking it out on Jovial Merriment as a racer in these analysis videos, specifically for impartiality and to judge what Jovial Merriment is doing as a racer, because I think, steroids or not, I think Jovial Merriment's technique is something that should still be studied. And thing is, steroids might make it so Jovial Merriment has more opportunities to get ahead than other horses might. But regardless, the fact that these opportunities are still being taken by Jovial Merriment still deserves some praise. And regardless of whether or not you believe that Jovial Merriment is on steroids or not, I think it is. I think that is a common ground we can all reach together. Now, without further ado, I've already been talking for about 4.5 minutes, and I still haven't hit play on the video yet. But let's just skip past the place your bets. And so, starting here, we can see yellow, pink, and red are towards the front here. So they clearly have the advantage to coming through here. And obviously, you can see yellow. Yellow and Doorknob are able to make it through really quickly. However, the other horses are all struggling in the starting area because they're all bouncing off of each other. The problem I was saying earlier, yellow gets a really easy lead here You know, pink partially makes it through, but part of the issue with these choke points here, like I said before, is horses are also going to block you. Even if you find a straight path like pink did here, here's downtown skybox here to block and send pink all the way, sending back, barreling into Jovial Merriment, and just keeping everyone else still in here. It's just a chain reaction. I know this is something we've touched on a couple of videos, but this is why the starting area is just so important for the race, because just one small thing can just set off a chain reaction and set everyone far back and just increase the lead. Yellow has had so much free time to possibly move through here, and yellow hasn't really done a lot here, but has had a lot of free time to do things here. And first, let's go back here to Jovial Merriment. Let's just see. So you can see here, Jovial Merriment taking advantage of the yellow horses, gets a really good angle out, bouncing up and down, and uses Resolute Mind Afternoon's momentum to propel herself forward here, up and down over. So what happens here is it's not Jovial Merriment getting a push by Resolute Mind Afternoon. It's Jovial Merriment predicting Resolute Mind Afternoon's trajectory and standing exactly where she needs to be to get that push, right? So if I go over here, right, I'm just going to hit play here. Just watch the movements here. Bouncing specifically like this, right? Bouncing off of a bulletin board, like trying to get something here, right? But then at this point, she sees the opportunity, right? Here's bulletin board, here's Resolute Mind Afternoon, right? And then she sees how she could bounce, and she sees the trajectory. She's predicting the trajectory of Resolute Mind Afternoon here, because look, so Resolute Mind Afternoon is going to go here. Pink is coming down here. She knows that pink is going to knock Resolute Mind Afternoon this way. She knows that she's able to bounce off of a bulletin board and able to go up, and is able to. They're going to collide at this area here. At that point, nothing really happens. But this is just a quick move by Jovial Merriment that I think Jovial Merriment really has a brain for this sort of thing, where she's able to keep track of all the other horses' positions relative to hers in order to specifically take advantage of their bounces. And here, she is able to get in here, and just call it luck, call it proper placement, proper timing. Maybe one of the other horses was trying to help out here, but she is able to get the push she needs from Resolute Mind Afternoon, which I don't think that was something that Resolute Mind Afternoon had intended. I think that was partially some luck, partially some good positioning and game knowledge from Jovial Merriment here. So not a whole lot happening here. Doorknob's able to go down. Jovial Merriment soon follows. Yeah, so you can see, like, it's partially luck, partially, like, I guess you could attribute some of that to the steroids, right? As to why, like, Jovial Merriment's always in the right place at the right time, able to get the right bounces. But it's partially luck, partially positioning. It just kind of happens the way it does. Almost makes it in right off the bat. But I think Jovial Merriment is going to probably look for some kind of bounce off another horse here, because she is in a difficult spot, because she was going back and forth and she wouldn't have made any progress that way. But yeah, there you go. She got the bounces she needed to get inside the box here. So here, like, here's the collision, up and down. She's already going up and down, up and down, up and down. She needs a slight push to the side just to go straight up. And then, yep, she's in. She gets the carrot. Now, specifically, let's look at some of the other horses. What could maybe have they done differently here? And I think here, Doorknob maybe should have played a little more stronger defense against Jovial Merriment. I think Resolute Mind Afternoon plays a really strong defense. I think some of the other horses probably should play a stronger defense. Resolute Mind Afternoon definitely needs to tone down his defense for sure, but I think other horses should try playing defense more often. Like here, I think Bulletin Board is doing a fairly decent job playing defense against some of the other guys, but at this point, it's a little too late. There's too many horses already trying to that already passed him. Yeah, like Pink is kind of really unlucky here. Like kind of the whole race, like Pink, I don't think Pink ever even makes it to like this like third area here. Yeah, no, like Pink's just got really unlucky. I think Pink also started from the start, so I'm not really sure what was going on this race here. Pink had like the second best sort of positioning in the entire race at the start, and somehow just ended up only like leaving like this area like once. Like yeah, like gets into this choke and then blocked by Jovial Merriment, sent back up here, and then just kind of stuck here over and over again. Goes all the way back to the start by the end. Bulletin Board somehow also gets back there towards the end, but I'd say he put up a much better fight in this race than Pink did. Yellow also had a strong start, but kind of lollygagged a lot here, just kind of sitting around waiting for something to happen. I think could have taken advantage of like this like areas here, like these bounces. I think could have been good, like bam, 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 bam. Like yeah, I think if she just bounced around in this area, I think eventually she might have like bounced like that. Another horse could have come down if she was hitting there, bam. She would have knocked him back up. She could have gone like this. I think she left this area like pretty quickly. Yeah, she went straight back up here instead of bouncing off. I think maybe that's partially due to her size. I think a horse like who has more size, more pixels on the left here, like Bulletin Board, might have bounced here instead of going straight up. But yeah, I think that's a lot of, yeah, could partially be attributed to her model size as to why she was not able to stick around in the bottom area for longer. And then yeah, Doorknob's also down here with Jovial. I think this race at the end here, I think it could have honestly gone either way between Jovial and Doorknob. They're clearly having, like, you can see like the fights here to see who gets bounced on in order to make it under here. And now there's like three other ones other than Jovial here, like Skybox, Bulletin Board, Doorknob. And at this point, yeah, like Skybox sends Bulletin Board back up, sends Resolute Mind Afternoon up, and then yeah, she just gets the push she needed. There's just so many horses there, like at some point someone's gonna get pushed through. But yeah, that's about it for this analysis. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next one.